Well, hello, good morning. Thank you very much for your attention. My name is Marco Paniagua, and I will be showing you the details of my capstone project that is a restaurant application ordering app. Thank you very much for your attention, and let's get to it. First of all, I will try to discuss the front-end architecture, the authentication, and also the app diagram of the end-to-end application. Basically, so you will understand how I've I've prepared all of the things to wrap up in a very nice restaurant application that will be shown in the upcoming parts and slides. Well, this is the application overview diagram of the whole app. It's divided into three main components. The first one is the front end, the middleware, and the backend. In the front end, it's a code for showing the user interface so the users can sign in, sign up. Also, they can order the dishes of the restaurants that they are looking for. They can look for restaurants. They can add dishes to the cart and finally do a checkout that will be processed in the middleware and the backend. In the middleware, we have a web server in order to provide the API to the front end, and finally the backend is comprised of a Strapi management for API and MongoDB. Basically, this whole infrastructure manages the user authentication, the restaurants that are being shown to the user, the dishes that he wants to see, and also the payment is processed through a payment in Stripe that basically handles the credit card processing and the payments. Well, the front architecture has been divided into several layers. First of all, you have a server.js that handles the whole application basically and serves up the front end for the application. You have three different folder structures. You have one of the components that basically are present in the application. You have one that is the cart.js that helps you to add dishes to the cart. You have a checkout section when you have the checkout form basically to input the information of the payment that you want to process and also the dishes that you added to the checkout. You have one context that it's an app that handles the context of the user that has been logged in. You have a restaurant list that shows you the restaurants that are present in the database, and finally you have a layout that wraps up the whole application for the user interface. You have one library structure when you have Apollo.js and authentication. Basically, this serves for the whole application. And finally, you have some pages structure when you have the checkout page, the index page that basically is the initial one. You have the restaurants.js and sign in and sign up. As mentioned before, you are using Strapi in order to handle all the information within the database. And as you can see, you can see three users that have been signed up through the application. Basically, this is some test users, and you can see that the MongoDB database provides a unique identifier for all of these users. Once you have one user that has been signed up, in this case, you can start using the whole application for the checkout part. In this case, the Strapi mode of authentication has been chosen, and this management of the whole backend is also integrated with the MongoDB. Something that I have to mention here is that the integration with Firebase for Google Authentication is considered for an upcoming deployment of this application. And you can see here that the transactions handled by the Stripe platform is integrated with this app. So all the API requests are being processed in Stripe, so you can have a dashboard on how the payments and some other things are being handled. In the case of the checkout form, you have the information of the dishes that you want to order. you have some address, and you have a dummy card so the payment can be processed. You can see here that in the Strapi management, the order has been successfully processed, and as we are using MongoDB as an integral part of the application, the order uh, has been considered as an JSON object. So you can see here that the application has been successfully has been successfully handling all of the requests, and you have a new order here. In the Stripe, you see that the events that are being handled by the Stripe platform within this order, and you can see here that all the events, especially in the tests that I have run, are successful. Something to mention here is that the payments are not yet visible in this test mode. However, the API events and the events in the Stripe platform are triggered successfully. So thank you very much for your attention in this initial part of the application, and I will be seeing you up in the second one. Thank you very much.